It is, well, I'm a little late. It's about a little after 5:10. Wednesday evening. Um, my cat is over there meowing at me. I hope everyone is having a good night so far, or a good evening so far. Here in the U.S., it's July 3rd. Tomorrow is the 4th of July, and I hope everyone is going to have a safe holiday. Um, be careful with the animals, especially if you have a new pet and you don't know how it's going to react to fireworks, um, because every year animals go missing because they panic, um, and the owners inadvertently they might jerk off the leash or they might bolt from the door. As well, be careful because other animals are panicking because of the fireworks. Um, so there might be more deer crossing the roads or other small animals trying to escape the sound. So be careful, be mindful, and be safe. But enjoy. And we can do all of those. Um, let's see. We're going to pop up here on YouTube in just a second. I want to bring up the live stream on my desktop. I like having it on my phone, the desktop as well. Easier to see on my desktop. And then we're going to cruise around YouTube and see if anyone's live. It's just always fun to do. I've mentioned before, I don't mind telling people that someone is live, and if anyone wants to spend time over there, absolutely awesome. You know, no one can take anything from you. You can't lose support. It might seem that way. If someone goes there, that means they're not here. And if not here, who's supporting me? The life, the universe, God, love. That's what's supporting you. You're supporting yourself. There's enough for everyone. There's enough room for everyone. Mr. Poopinator is here. Says fart for me, bro. Man, if it was just you and I in the chat, it would have happened. But now we got 3 people, so it seems. Um, so I can't now. Hey, thanks for reaching out on Facebook. Much appreciated. So let's see if anyone else is live. Our friend Goldie was live, about half an hour ago. Let's see. Master Sergeant, retired Mocha says, how do you know that he hasn't farted for you already? He doesn't do anything loudly. This is true. I'm a naturally quiet person, and I've grown probably more quiet through the years. Our friend the Godzilla is here and says hi. I'm hoping our friend Godzilla's got some good news for us. Did you get your figures today? So yeah, hey, it could be happening right now, and you would never know it. Although, if it was going to happen, I'd have to let Mr. Poopinator know. Does anyone notice anything different about Mr. Poopinator? The Godzilla says, guess what? You got it today. You got your figures today. Are we going to be able to see him? You going to make a video soon? Let's see. The Godzilla says they have arrived. I was hoping that was your news. Awesome. So let's see a little clip, a little video. Let's see, Mr. Poopinator says, how did you know I reached out? Yogic powers. Yogic powers of perception, as well as YouTube Messenger. I got a messenger with 2 little pooplets in it. Who else could that be from? Let's see. The Godzilla says, The vids are done. Post them now. Awesome. Yogi Powers. Years of meditation and yoga literally are actually the same thing. I know nowadays we say yoga and everyone assumes we're talking about the asanas, we're talking about the postures. That's just a tiny, tiny aspect of yoga. An important one for me, not what I teach, as I teach meditation and I take breath work. And I'm working on teaching the fifth limb of yoga, pratyahara, which means withdrawal of senses, which actually can take place during breath work, as well as yoga nidra. Highly recommend yoga nidra for everyone. Laradox is here. Laradox, it's nice seeing you over at Barb's. I'm starting to yawn already, guys. Let's see. Here's our friend's Laradox's channel. Hey, you know, Laradox, you can always post your own channel once, twice. You know what? You could post it every so often if you space it out. You know what I mean? You can come in and you can post it, and then maybe, you know, half an hour later you can post it again. If you're still around later, you could post it again. Laradox is at 519. Good job. We got to check and see where Mr. Poopinator is, because we're shooting for, what did we say? We're shooting for 50? 14 subscribers. That's pretty good. Once you put up one video of you doing burpees, we'll get you to 50, no problem. So I'm not sure if this is going to work, guys. We're going to try it. Click on the link, see if it works. This is from our friend, the Godzilla. The Godzilla. There can only be one. Mr. Poopin' says, real person in real life form, just trying to reach out. I appreciate that. Always enjoy making new friends. I always enjoy when we're able to bridge those different worlds. You know, you get to know someone in one way on YouTube, and then it's a whole nother experience getting to know someone on Facebook. Facebook gives you a little glimpse of people's real life. My real life is pretty much about the same as it is right here. Let's see. Thank you for that, Eric. Eric LaPointe comes in and he posts the link for the Godzillas. Let's see. He drops a link for his page. If you go to Godzilla's Show Up. Hey, you're getting some nice views on your shorts, Godzilla. Nice. Those are pretty awesome looking. I just left a reply. I'm checking it out. Hey, that didn't take as long as you thought. What's new, Eric LaPointe? Hey, Eric, do you have plans for tomorrow, for 4th of July? And what about you, Mr. Poopinator? You got plans for tomorrow? Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Poopinator says exactly, so I shouldn't have tried to reach out, and I apologize, bro. No, man, absolutely. I appreciate it. Um, like I said, I like when I can bridge those gaps so people can see um, that I'm the same here as I am in real life most of the time. Um, so Facebook being, like I said, Facebook being a little more, both of them are personal in different ways. But here or on Facebook, people get to look and they see the stuff that I was doing 5 years ago when I was running ultra marathons, or stuff that I was doing 15 years ago when I was training for kettlebell sport, or even further back. So yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. As a matter of fact, I just sent you a friend's request. Squirrel Sniper says, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? Godzilla says, thanks for your support. You're welcome, my friend. I love your passion for the things that you love. I remember the first time you came in here, and we talked about Godzilla. Unk was here, and he had some pretty fascinating information about that. Mr. Poopinator says, good energy. That's all, brother man, from the other land. Eric Point is going to work in the morning and then chill by the pool. Awesome. How about fireworks? I'm not really a fireworks type of person, but you know what? I get that people enjoy them. Let's see. For me, the fireworks became diminishing each year, or maybe I just got old. Maybe I got old quick. Our friend Bumblebee T is here and says, just listening. And Burpee Reaper is here. Good afternoon, beautiful YouTube family. Let's see. Poopinator says, respect. I understand. Now I know. Awesome. So, yeah, feel free. Reach out. I got all kinds of stuff that I put on there. I put my writing on there every morning. No, keep it YouTube. Doesn't have to be. Literally. I'm always open for everything. Eric Point says, hey T. I'm actually Facebook friends with several people that show up here. Reaper says, Le Point. Burpee Reaper was all business today. He wasn't joking around. Put his head down and got the reps. Not that he ever jokes around while he's working out, but this definitely had a little more intense energy to it. The Godzilla says, yeah, we talked about Godzilla -1. It was a good conversation. I learned a lot because I literally knew zero about Godzilla except it was a movie. Japanese. We get some greetings. Dr. Point says, I do the fireworks for everyone, but this year I'm not doing them. So you guys going to go someplace or just skip it and relax? Brian Lane is here. Brian, how are you? I'm going to check out Brian's burpee session in a little bit before I go to bed. I'm dropping Brian's link. Reaper says, not too much to celebrate. We got to fix the mess that's inside first. Man, you summed it up, Reaper. You definitely summed it up. Reaper says, appreciate that, Eric. Brian Lane says, just got a comment saying, I don't know what a burpee is, except for the hundreds that you do every single day. At least you haven't had somebody come along and tell you that you have to eat meat. The same guy showed up on Reaper's live stream saying he was doing some prison stuff. Reaper says, Brian, those are weaklings. I agree. And it doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter if you come in here with a 300-pound bench press, a 400-pound bench press. If you can't keep doing something, I don't care what you can do once. What can you keep doing? What can you endure? The Buddha said, one of the highest, let's get over here. And I'll let you know what the Buddha said. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to say it and I'm going to post it. It's a valuable little quote. Don't take my word for it, guys. Take the word of the Buddha. Buddha says, endurance is one of the most difficult disciplines, but it is to the one who endures that the final victory comes. The one who endures. Let's see, Fennec is here. Hello, my friend. Says hello. Welcome. Eric Point says it's a relaxed day. Good. Hey, when you work 6 days a week, 10 hours at a time, you definitely deserve that. You definitely earned that rest day. Let's see. The Gazilla says, sorry, I'm going to play Fortnite. Bye. That's okay, my friend. Enjoy. Have fun. Thanks for sharing. Brian LaPointe says, or Eric LaPointe says, I miss it, and I'm not sure how. I missed a lot of lives today. Did you guys get a chance to see Goldie's? It was awesome. We get a laughing emoji from Eric LaPointe about Brian's comment. Brian's someone who, for one, is as strong and powerful as they come, and yet he can do burpees all day long. That's a tough combination. Brian says, they said, let me show you. They said, that's not a burpee. Do they have videos of them doing burpees? Reaper says, the Eric LaPointe got a fan from Temu. It's badass, and it had it running in the sun for about 5 hours and still 100%. That's awesome. Reaper says, Temu, baby. I remember, what did you get last year? You got some hiking boots last year. I think you got some sunglasses. Let's see. Brian says, I've been to prison, but didn't do many burpees like I do now. Did more regular push-ups and handstand push-ups and work out in the gym when you went to camp. Burpee Reapers are going to get some hats soon. Let's see. Fennec says getting a racing wheel and pedals. What kind of bike you got? Reaper says, let them talk, Brian. You're doing the damn thing. Absolutely. Leo said so. Leo steps up. Boy, we can have so many titles. Leo steps up. Leo does it. Leo doesn't say so. Leo does stuff. Leo does hard stuff. And man, he rocked those. Did you see the nasal breathing intervals? I did nasal breathing intervals today, and it sucked. He did nasal breathing intervals with rocking chairs and got more reps each minute than I did. Granted, I'm about 30 years older. I don't normally tout that, but you know what? When someone puts me in my place, I need to play the age card. Yep, you heard it here, guys. I played the age card. Let's see. Leo says, thank you, Brother Yogi, for watching my session and supporting my hustle. Absolutely. Man, you stepped up. It was amazing to watch. Reaper says, the one Leo. And that's what Reaper says. Kill a session. Leo says, Brian the Monster. That's a good name. Because like I said, Brian's got power to spare. Reaper says, Brian is the only big dude I've seen kill burpees. There's been a few guys, but I don't think anyone quite as big. Chris Cable's got some decent size on him. Jay's pretty big. Actually, Max has got some decent size too. Max Edwards. Like the point says, Leo the won the champ. T says, Brian, great videos. Great burpee videos. You know what? And Brian puts so much of himself in his videos too. It's a great thing to see. Let's see. Leo says, not a competition, brother. You motivate me just as I do you, my guy. All love and support. You know what? All of you guys give me a lot of motivation. Again, you're absolutely right. Not competition, but can I keep up with someone younger than me? You guys set the bar high, and I go for it. So thank you know what? Literally, thank all of you guys. Very much appreciated. It's what's keeping me young. Ish. Burpee Giant. Yeah, well, you don't get the name Burpee Giant by being a small guy. Yeah, he's pretty big. Let's see. T says I can't comment on live videos as YouTube Wi-Fi prevents me from. T says, is it Brian with the music? I don't know. I don't think so. There you go. Reaper says, let me say it in a different way. Over here in the USA, Brian is the biggest burpees dude I've seen. All right, that works. Leo said so was 250 when he started, and it's 225 now, but solid. It's kind of big. I agree. Big and lean. It's absolutely awesome weight loss. Brian Lane says Leo and Reaper got some of the best burpees, and both Eric's and Burpee Matty got them too. Burpee Matty, man, the mad scientist of the burpee community. It's been a while since I've seen a burpee. It's been a while since I've done a Burpee Matty routine. I used to do them as finishers. Crazy, crazy. I survived that. I would do a 20-minute busy dad session and then do a Burpee Matty finisher. They're not really finishers. They are, um, when you hit the floor, you're going to be down there for a while. Reaper says, you are in a different LV, brother. Leo says, don't forget, Brian Lane, my guy Brian. It's interesting because, you know, each and every one of you do burpees differently. And yet, each and every one of you has excellent form. You know what I mean? That people can express it so differently and yet so perfectly at the same time. Leo said so brings a little bit of flair in his rocking chairs. A little bit of soul in those rocking chairs, that's for sure. Mr. Poopinator says, do the ones who do burpees also use weights? Yes, Burpee Reaper does for sure. Brian, you'll see Brian do some bench press every once in a while. I've been doing some light kettlebell presses. I do pull-ups. I do dips. I do some weighted dips. And I do an arm day. I do my burpees after that. Reaper says, too many warriors. And Reaper says, poop depends. Yeah, like Max Edwards, Busy Dad, he doesn't do any weights. But he used to. He used to be a competitive powerlifter. So he's been able to maintain the base that he built. And he looks good. Reaper says, if you want to be explosive, then you got to lift weights. Then yes, you got to lift weights. The Lion's Den. Reaper says, imagine, Leo, we were all put in a cage. Eric Lapointe says he doesn't. You got to remember, though, Eric Lapointe has a pretty physical job. Says maybe some curls for fun. No one does curls for fun. People do curls to pick up girls or to impress girls. I know you're married. Impress your wife. That's why you do curls. Let's see. We got a salute from Burpee Reaper to the Poopinator. Let's see. T said I had a Google at Burpee Matty's too last night. Yeah, Matty's a good guy. Miss Poopinator says, I like that Yogi. Everyone's burpee is different. Yeah, and you know what? Get the form down, make it your own. Let's see. Tyler makes edit says, what's your favorite book? It changes a lot. I get asked that question every couple of days, and every day, I always appreciate it, by the way. Every day the answer might be a little different depending on what I'm reading or what I've read or how I'm thinking about what I read in the past. I almost always go fiction with Lonesome Dove. Absolutely love Lonesome Dove. But Confederacy of Dunces, also really good. The Legend of Bag of Ants is really good. Um, let's see. I'm a big fan of Edward Abbey, the Monkey Wrench Gang. Gabriel Garcia Marquez, 100 Years of Solitude. Fiction-wise, those are the ones. Non-fiction, again, it changes a lot. Uh, Born to Run, autobiography of a yogi. Both of those changed my life instantly within the first few pages. All right, let's see if I can catch up. Mr. Poopanita says, man, you guys that are doing burpees are toned. Shows much focus and commitment. And the great thing, I mentioned this to you earlier, Poopinator, you only need the floor. It's all you need. Floor or the ground, wherever you are. You got your gym right here. You can throw in some squat chasers. Erica Point says, hey to Tyler. Reaper says, you can do it too. Mr. Poop, we aren't special. You can do it too. Absolutely, you can do it. Remember, we've talked about this before, and Reaper talked about it on his video, where he starts out every year. T says, I miss my sport. Used to do hockey, got injured, banned by doctor, took up ice hockey. Doctor wasn't happy. He just said no running sports. So I screwed up my knee at age 18, an operation. I'm sorry to hear that, T. Reaper says, perfectly said, Eric, make it your own. Yeah, if you look at all the videos, everyone's got a different style, but the burpee itself is the same. I've had people look, it's better now, but maybe a year ago, my shoulder was pretty jacked up. And people would always comment that, hey, your form is off because of your shoulder, which is true, because of my shoulder. But I was doing burpees. To me, that's what counted. That's what mattered. I always said that my form is as impeccable as my body allows it to be. That years of heavy lifting, martial arts, kettlebell sport, ultra running, and then you make it to 59, you're going to have some dings, some scratches, some bangs. Overall, I feel excellent. But if you try to do burpees for 900 days, you're going to accumulate some stress. And the body will show it sometimes. So, like I said, as impeccable as the body allows it. Poopinator says, much love to you, brother Burpee Reaper. Miss Poopinator said, did you see I got a freaking wrench? Much love to Yogi. Hey, Poopinator showed up. He showed up. He interacted with people. He asked some pretty important questions. He became a friend. What do you do when a friend keeps showing up? Leo Setso says, we can all talk. Let's show some work. Exactly. There we go. Leo said, that should be the next challenge, Yogi, to everyone. Make short videos of at least showing yourself trying burpees. 1 burpee, 2, 5. Challenge your supporters who are capable to do burpees and show. Absolutely. I'm waiting for the one video from our friend Mr. Poopinator. Squirrel Sniper says, never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake. Excellent advice. Excellent advice. Squirrel Sniper says, Leo said so, you rock today. Yeah, he did. T says, I also jogged about 5 marathons before age 18, and now have a set of wheels. for now. Brian says you also don't want to forget Paradox or Simon. Got great burpees as well. Yeah, they do. Our friend Burpee Bandit. I have never tried to work out in a mask before. And you guys got to go way back to see Barefoot Burpees, Hybrid Gym, when he was doing tons of burpees on his knuckles. Awesome form. Strength to spare. And Men of Action. Yeah, I don't spend a whole lot of time on his channel. I'm subscribed. I see him because we're up around the same time. Eric the Point has turf toe yesterday. At some point, did realize still the morning when it was tough to walk. Did 1 foot burpees today. That's how you get it done, though. You can't do burpees one way. You find a way to do them another way. Let's see. T says, Eric, what's that? Is it some kind of toe rot? Not really rot. Reaper says, well, Men of Action demands on his own world untraceable numbers. Untouchable numbers. There we go. T says, so everyone, I'm in the chat. Sorry, Skip last night was in too much pain. I'm glad you're here tonight, though, T. Hope we can provide some company, some entertainment. Brian says, yeah, it was on the video from 2 days ago. My 3 and 1 pump burpees video. They comment that's not burpees. Did they expect you to jump? Everybody wants to put the jump in. Brian did 55 cycle style burpees today. Eric Point says, no T, I pulled my big toe and the muscle under your toe to the arch and the foot is pulled. Hopefully you'll be feeling better tomorrow, Eric. And of course, Reaper says, Brian, do 200. Got to up the game just a bit each time. T says, Brian, was it you that did burpees to Barry Manilow? It was not. It was the Burpee Reaper. Reaper says, Brian, you're super explosive. Yeah, he is. Sergio, how are you? Theo says, Psycho Style for Psycho Foos. Reaper says, Simon is tall. Yeah, he's pretty tall. 6'3". T says to Eric P, ouchie. Exactly. How do you go up ladder to Christmas trees with one football? Brian says, Leo, you had the music from Zelda on your short yesterday. And Zelda yesterday, The Lost Woods. Awesome. Eric Lapointe says slow to T. That's how you do it. Leo says, yeah, buddy, Zelda tunes give you energy. Thank you, Brother Brian. I'm already picking out my songs for next Sunday, by the way. T says, Eric Lapointe, don't fall off the ladder, though. You won't bounce. I don't know. I get the feeling that Eric Lapointe might actually bounce. Brian says, hope you feel better, Eric. Reaper says, who else plays Fortnite? Our friend, the Godzilla up above, just left to go play Fortnite. I think it was Fortnite, he said. Doesn't Noble play Fortnite? T says to the Burpee Reaper, can I make a music request? If you let me think about it. Promise, no Baby Shark. He will do it. If you pick Baby Shark, he would do it. Wasn't a single song that came up last Sunday that he said, nope, won't do it. T says, Eric's foot, get well soon. Reaper says, you should see what the Jay Jordan had me play on my short video. I saw that. Actually, I remember seeing the whole thing. That was good. I gotta admit, I'm biased. Two things. I'm biased to the Barry Manilow, of course. Actually, Walking in the Sunshine, I like that too. But seeing Burpee Reaper actually groove to Mocha's song pick, Brother Johnson's Stomp. Been a while since we had an old-fashioned burpee conversation. In the early days of just a Yogi live stream, we would talk actually quite a bit about, we'd have Osiris, we'd have, back when he was It Is What It Is, all kinds of burpee people show up. Every once in a while, David Witten. Hey, David Witten's a big guy. He's in Canada, though. I think we forgot about that. Reaper says, Mocha picked a good one for sure. Yes, she did. Leo says, so what's the next challenge, brother? Leo says, I'm trying to earn my Yogi title. Man, I think you already did. You definitely, you upped the ante for sure. So the next one would be, this is what Duncan had me do. This was, at first it was non-nasal, and then when I started doing the nasal, everything got harder and easier as well. Yogi Leo, sounds good. Lee Yogi. Yogi-san. So, yeah, I believe it was the last thing, 27 minutes, one on, one off. The last 2 minutes are a burst. So you don't take a break for the last 2 minutes. That one is tough. But hey, man, you sailed through the intervals today. Yeah, so it would be one on, one off, nasal breathing, and the last 2 minutes are, you don't take a break. So it's 2 minutes worth of, it's a 2 minute interval at the very end. Leo says, we need a way to reach each other, bro. I sent you an email. Don't know if you got it, though. And Jacob, the halfway around the world. Yeah, Jacob's here on the East Coast. Goldie's here. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Hello there, lovely Goldie. Goldie's knitting. Had a wonderful live stream with Goldie. Seeing her daughters. You know what? I'm going to say artwork. Someone might say, well, it was done on the margin or whatever. It was artwork. When you see the so small, but a lot of intricate work went into them. Eric Point says he missed it. Yeah, Eric said he unfortunately missed a couple of live streams today. Just doodles. But you know what? When someone has talent and they have a lifetime of practice, just to doodle is an artistic expression. For me, just to doodle is drawing a stick figure with a big round head and 4 hairs sticking up. That's just a doodle. What she did, that was art. Eric says, I wanted to see that one. It was a good day for live streaming today. We had Burpee Reaper lay down some deep training, burpee wisdom. We had Leo Sitso step up for the new challenge. Optimum, sorry, with backs. His very, very clever way of including backs in their scenic drives. And we had, I didn't see Jacob today do a live stream, did he? Walking with Goldie. Walking with Goldie does a live stream is always special for me. Let's see, 19 years is her age, not a lifetime. For her, it's a lifetime when you think about it. 19 years and how many years of drawing? I'm going to stand by my statement, Goldie, because one thing I know, honestly, one thing I know, is I know art when I see it. Doesn't have to be anyone else's perception, but for me, when I see art, I deeply, deeply appreciate it. I have a deep love for art. I have a deep love for artists. And more so, I have a deep love for the inspiration that reaches people. Whatever it is that gives someone an urge to express it in any given way. Let's see. Leo said so. Says I'm just going to double the session and do 40 minutes, then try Navy SEALs, maybe. Hey, but get that 2-minute burst at the end. Do a 2-minute interval at the very end. Man, because that last minute, after you've already hit it hard, let's say you've gotten 16 reps, and then you got the following minute, no break, and you think, I'm going to get another 16 reps, and somewhere in there you start thinking, man, I got to take a breath somewhere. Goldie says, it's up Eric the Point if you want to check it out, but warning, it's boring. I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was boring at all. Let's see. Goldie says, Eric McCarty, did you see the ones at the end? Those are paintings, 2 on my wall, and 1 is a work in progress. I did not see. I will go check it out. I'm glad that you have it up. Leo says, "Got you, bro. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing those 2 minutes. Those 2 minutes, Leo. It's a gut check." Leo said, "I'll do 2.5 minutes." Wow. You do 2.5 minutes, and you've officially earned the title Leo said so yoga burpee extraordinaire. Yogi burpee extraordinaire. Leo said so, so it's true. I'm a yogi. That's what it'll be. Reaper says, "Let's go, Leo. You're gonna rock that session." Yeah, no doubt. Reaper says he did 20 psychos after my Navy SEALs. Reaper says, "When I don't want to miss it." Mayhem and Miracles is here. How are you, my friend? Maja, it's nice to see you. Maja is eating dinner and listening. I appreciate that. What's for dinner tonight? Anything good? Well, of course it's good. Eric LaPointe says, well, look who it is. And we get a nice greeting from Walking with Goldie. Leo said, "I'm gonna do this tomorrow. Time to reap what I sow." Leo said so steps up. No one can deny that. That is for sure. Reaper says, "Let's go. He will earn whatever he wants after that." That's true. Maja says, "I've been so busy." Yeah, I haven't seen you live at all this week. I was wondering. Says, "It's good. Blazing hot here." And happy 4th. Thank you. Appreciate that. Biscuits and chicken fries. Sounds good. Yeah, the point says he knows it's not tacos. Reaper says he loves tacos. Who in the chat is not surprised to hear that? Tacos, pancakes, burritos. We've talked about burgers. I think we've talked about steaks. We've talked about pizza, waffles. We've talked about lentils. Some of the best food conversations have been with our friend the Burpee Reaper. Roger says, "Oops, so hot." What's the temperature for you guys? We've actually cooled down a bit today. The last 2 days. Yesterday was only 81. I think today climbed to 86. It's going to start getting back in the 90s now. Roger says, "No tacos to Eric LaPointe." Roger's been working, time with her family. Awesome. Let's see. Mary Brown's chicken beats KFC. I've never heard of that before. Is that strictly Canadian? Back when I would occasionally travel to Canada, and in my meat eating days, we always made a trip to Tim Hortons. Tim Horton or Tom Horton? I think it's Tim. Alex says, "Did you buy Bitcoin?" I did not buy Bitcoin. Didn't even consider it, to be honest with you. It's in the 90s up in Canada. Our friend Sabine is here. Hello, Yogi, Eric, and all friends. Hello, Sabine. Chris Lopez. Hello, my friend. Always appreciate it when Chris stops by. Or when I see her live. Guys, if you want to really see a fun live stream, go hang out with Chris. Or catch her workout, for that matter. Mayhem and Miracle says AC on. I always feel sorry for our friends in Great Britain when they get a heat wave because so many don't have air conditioning. Alex says, hello guys. Alex, how are you? Eric Point says, I can answer for him, Alex. No. Absolutely right. You guys subscribe to Chris? I'm getting some messages. Maja says, I believe so. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that chicken place. Back when I ate chicken, carry-out chicken, it was usually Popeyes. Goldie says, hi there to Chris. Let's see. Reaper says, tacos never came from Taco Bell. Just in case anyone want to compare their real taco. Yeah, I never cared for Taco Bell too much. Even when I did eat meat. And Goldie drops the link for Chris. Thank you, Goldie. Appreciate that. Like the point says, Sabine, isn't it past your bedtime? Roger says, Taco Bell is dog food in a bucket. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I would feed it to my dog. But I agree. It's pretty bad. You can't even compare it to real food, to be honest. Speed says, Eric Lapointe. Yes, it is. Which makes me appreciate you joining in all the more, my friend. Maja says, started a new Newfoundland. Well, we have a burpee friend who is a Mountie, and I believe it's Labrador. Let's see. Maja says, yes, we have Popeyes too, but I find it too salty and gravy so nasty. Reaper says, Popeyes has the best freaking apple pie ever. I didn't know that. Now, it's been, even before I was a vegan, it's probably been 25 years since I've stepped into Popeyes or any fast food restaurant. We went to Burger King when they got the Impossible Vegan Burger to give it a try. Maja agrees. Says, yep, to the Burpee Reaper. Eric Lapointe says, he's going to sub to Chris now. Awesome. Reaper says, I had Taco Bell once, and my toilet didn't like me after that. And we got some emojis to demonstrate the fact. Leo Sitsu says, all right, Brother Yogi, have a great day and be safe, brother. Tomorrow I shall earn the title or be left having to try again. But I shall work for it regardless. Let's go. I got no doubt that you're going to hit it. Leo says, be safe and strong. You too, my friend. Especially tomorrow. Like I said, for the 4th, be careful, everyone, and keep hold of your pets because a lot of them, especially if it's a new pet, if you have a puppy, cats as well, they don't like the fireworks. They can be very scary. Very scary for the wildlife too. So every year, the day after the 4th, which is usually the 5th, um, there's signs up: lost dog, missing cat. Um, they get scared. They pull out the leash. They run away. Reaper says, "Have a great day." Eric's point: excellent point. Fast food in general is a drunken pleasure only. Goldie says, walking with Goldie says, take care. Leo said so. Eric says, I haven't eaten fast food in a long time. It doesn't agree with me. Um, yeah, anyone, it should be minimized anyway, I think, in anyone's diet. A once upon, once upon type of deal. When you just, you've had a tough day, you can't bear the fact of having to cook something, um, or for whatever reason. But an everyday thing, fast food. Reaper says the point, yes. If I enter a buffet, I come out drunk as a sailor man. Let's see. Maja says we only eat once in a while. Not often. We prefer home cooked meals. Exactly. Better for you. Tastes better. You know what's in it. Next point says, agree, Yogi. Guilty pleasure. These days, my guilty pleasure is an extra banana in my oatmeal. Maja says, in the States, many, if not all, Applebee's, Pizza Huts, and many others are closing. Yeah, we lost the neighborhood Pizza Hut that I used to go to with my parents when I was 8 years old. It stayed in business in the same location all these years, and for whatever reason, in the last year, it closed down. And we lost an Applebee up the street, as well as a Ruby Tuesdays. Ryan says, I had to go. I came back. Also, say John Castra got some good burpees too. You know what? I don't know if I've watched John before. Adequate Point says he agrees with Mayhem. Applebee's isn't doing well. I don't know if I've been in an Applebee's. Ruby Tuesday used to have a good vegan burger. Our friend Barb is here. Barb, my friend, how are you? Barb says, hello, my spiritual family and friends. Hudson, blessing. I got a chance to sit with Barb in her room for a little while today. Always nice. Mayhem says, Yogi, the Pizza Huts here are awful, so greasy it's gross. That's a shame. One day they will perfect the vegan pizza. That's the dream. That's definitely Mocha's dream. I think the best pizza places were never a chain. They were a neighborhood or in a particular part of a city, privately owned. Whatever little secret ingredient they might have, those are always the best, in my opinion. T says, sorry, got an important email come through. That's awesome. Let's see. Barb says, we got back from Golden Corral for our date night. It was pretty good, just didn't like the flies. I don't think I've ever been to a Golden Corral either. There was a really good video. I don't remember what channel it was on, but it was talking about chain restaurants that no longer exist. Burger Chef, Bob's Big Boy. Uh, there was a Sizzler Steakhouse, Ponderosa Steakhouse. Definitely got to be of a certain age to remember those. Let's see. Masha says air fryers make the best homemade pizza. Huh. Interesting. I never would have thought that. Barb says sorry about typos in the moving car. Never a problem. As I mentioned before, I literally speak in typos. Let's see. Mayhem says, have a great stream, Yogi. Take care. And to everyone, it was great seeing everyone. It was great seeing you. Maja, very much appreciate you stopping by. Air fryer removes 60% of fat. Best thing ever. Wow. I thought about getting an air fryer just because they're so healthy to cook with. Eric Lapointe says, Eric Lapointe has a life goal. My goal is to find the best vegan pizza and show it to Mocha for a high five because you know that Connecticut has the best pizza in the country and the first hamburger, and the place is still open. I didn't know the last part. Of course, anyone in New York City would argue, anyone in Chicago might argue otherwise. That's really interesting about the hamburger. Have you had a hamburger from there? Let's see. Sabine says, oh, I have to say goodnight. It's time for me to sleep now. You all take care and have a nice and blessed rest of the day. Bye. Take care, Sabine. Thanks for spending some time. Very much appreciated. Masha says, thank you so much. You're welcome, my friend. Guys, be sure to hang out Mayhem and Miracles when she goes live. If you're growing your channel, that's the place to do it. Because, again, you make connections. You make friends. This is where I met my friend Goldie, as well as so many others. So I think Brian Lane, or I'm sorry, Eric Lapointe is a testament. You go and you go to help people. You go to participate, and your channel's going to grow by itself. Got to be in the right place, though, and you got to put in the work. Let's see. Maja says pizza here is awful. You would think they'd all be the same. You know, if you got a chain restaurant, then everything's made the way it should. If I have a Pizza Hut pizza in Maryland, it should taste the same in Canada. Let's see. T says, Maja, I think Goldie will agree with you about Pizza Hut. I had a sore year when she saw I bought one before Pizza Express in UK. Oh, Brian Lane says, and Paul from Oregon got some good burpees. Watched him the other day. He does have good burpees. It's a great rocking chair. And I remember when he was learning how to do the rocking chair. He's very smooth. He's another one. He's given the nasal breathing a try. He'll do them at the beginning of his session, and then I'll switch over to regular breathing. T says, Barb, are you just crafting tonight? Need no stress distraction, things in my mind. Let's see. Eric Point says, no, they wouldn't, Yogi. It's a fact. Connecticut is famous for its pizza. Wow, that's another thing I didn't know. Interesting. What's Connecticut's secret? Barb says, just diamond art tonight. I got all my stuff in, so my bag was all busted up. So it was missing some things. But yes, it's a cross with roses and dubs tonight. Nice. T, I'm glad you enjoyed over there. That is a good way to, that stress-free atmosphere. Just Barb crafting. Always a wonderful conversation. T says, I miss Wimpy. I remember Wimpy. We had Wimpies here too in UK. They called the hot dog bender in a bun as a part cut, so it blended in a round bun. I do remember Wimpies. T says, okay, bar, maybe possible. Awesome. Let's see. Brian says, so many, it was a really humid day. Doing burpees out there today. Yeah, it wasn't too bad here today. We had a breeze, which always makes it better. Paul from Oregon put out some martial arts stuff. Last couple videos. It was nice to see. Hey, Eric Lapointe, are you following Paul from Oregon? Let's see. Eric Lapointe says Pepe's Pizza must be the hard work and good water. Brian says like being an Amazon feeling. Brian says, speaking of which, Brian did some. Have you seen his? What were you calling him, Brian? The breathing burpees, the full body breathing. Very nice. Said it was kind of feeling dizzy, feeling a bit better. Make sure you hydrate. Let's see. Oops, I forgot to take my sleep pill. Eric, let me see if I can find it. I was just on visiting him today. There we go. See if this works for you. So back in the day, before there was just a Yogi, before there was even just Eric McCarty, which was the name I had for several months before I switched it. I didn't have any content. Had no thought of doing any content. I was doing my burpees and I was supporting people in the burpee community. I was supporting Paul from Oregon, Busy Dad, David Witten, Osiris, Joe Hortai. I don't know if anyone remembers Joe Hortai. Lee Hazard. Lee Hazard is out of the burpee game. He's mainly lifting weights now. He was old school. And I was supporting Paul from Oregon. And Paul would always say, Eric, I know you're getting reps in. I see your comments talking about reps, but why don't you just do one video of your workout? I know you don't want to, you don't do that kind of stuff, one video, just so everyone can see. And I thought, okay, I'll do one video. And now, 920 days later, and name changes, here I am. A big thanks, a big shout out to Paul from Oregon. In the early days of the live stream, Paul was pretty regular here, and we had some weird conversations. We would talk Philip K. Dick, who's was a very strange author, one of my favorites though. He's a great musician. Paul from Oregon is a great musician and a great martial artist. Brian says, glad I brought up Paul from Oregon. He's a good friend. Yeah, he's a great guy. And actually, Brian, thank you. Thank you for bringing him up. Gives an opportunity that we can introduce Paul to a whole new community. Runner Boy is going live tomorrow. What's on the agenda for tomorrow? Eric says, Runner Boy, hope I don't miss it. Brian says, don't forget to like. Thank you for that, Brian. Probably going to talk for about 10 more minutes. Call it an early night. Brian says, and thank you, Eric, for checking out my channel yesterday. I appreciate it, brother. Eric's got the support. If a channel comes across Eric LaPointe's radar, and if it's a good quality channel, you know what I mean? They're putting out good stuff. Doesn't have to be about burpees. Doesn't have to be about anything in general. As long as it's just a positive type thing, Eric's got you back. He'll be there. Let's see. Aerodoc says, Yogi, what's the most people you've ever had in your stream? It was 58. Sorry, I just happened to glance down. Runner Boy says, where is Paul from Oregon from? He's actually from California, but he lives in Oregon. Runner Boy brings that subtle humor that just hits you and smacks you right in the face. Eric Point says, thanks for that, Yogi. Back in the day, Lee Hazard and Joe Hortai had a podcast, and they would interview people from the burpee community. You can still find it. And I don't remember the title of it. I'll look it up. So if you ever want to see an interview with David Whitten, and so many others. Max Edwards, the busy dad himself. Tomorrow is deadlift day. Best day of the week. Runner Boy, what do you consider your strongest lift? Eric Point says, anytime, Brian. I thought I was already subscribed. I was shocked when I wasn't. You know what? Sometimes because it is, we get so familiar with people, we think we're subscribed, and it turns out that we're not. I've had that happen. Aerodoc says, 58 people. I've only had 13 people before I deleted my TikTok account because it wasn't growing bigger. You know what? It was a weird 58, though. Runner Boy says, new name, Paul from Oregon and California. Actually, it would be Paul from California in Oregon. Let's see. Mocha says, Eric LP wants to find, she snuck in, but she's up to date. Wants to find the best vegan pizza in exchange for a high five. That's what he said. What do you think? Is it a deal? Of course, that might mean that I'm going to have to go on a quest myself to beat Eric LaPointe of getting the all-elusive high five. Mocha says no. Not even for the best vegan pizza. Laradox says, Yogi, have you ever made a penny from YouTube? I have made a penny from YouTube. And a bit more. So, Laradox, the 58 people, every once in a while I get 20 plus, sometimes 30. The 58 people, they swept in here. Not everyone was very nice. We had 20 plus here earlier today, the second one. But it was fun. It was an interesting turn of events. Let's see. Brian says, I can't show up every single day with everyone's channel, but I do what I can, show a little bit of support since I've been working a little bit more. Hey, Brian, you've always been supportive. Always. From day one. I actually remember coming across Brian's channel. I don't remember how many subscribers you had at the time, Brian, but I watched his other videos where he was talking, and I thought, this guy needs a huge channel, that I'm going to do everything I can to get more people to share in the Brian Lane story. Laradox says, I got burned horribly on my dirt bike. That's not good. You got to be careful. Eric the Point says, so close. Well, now I find it, I'll only tell Yogi. And I'll enjoy it. And when I'm done, then I'll say, oh, by the way, okay, I just had the world's best vegan pizza. Could have been yours for the price of a high five. Such a little act to get so much. Runner Boy says, my stream usually has 30 people. First 10 minutes, then drops to 10 or 5 the rest of the time. What do we have now? We have 11 people here. And 18 likes. Thanks, guys. Very much appreciated. Laradox says, Yogi, do you remember the first thing you ever said to me? Man, let me think. It was... I know you came in, you asked if I was Christian and conservative. And I believe I said, no, I'm not. But I respect something along the lines of respecting people's views. What do you remember, Laradox? Milka says, y'all need to leave a thumbs up. Mr. Poopinator says, I'm backed like cooked crack. Welcome back. Laradox says, I had like 12 at the most in my YouTube live streams. It'll grow. You'll get there, Laradox. Brian says, I really appreciate it, Eric. Absolutely. Mocha prefers her crack fresh and uncooked. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. Laradox says, Mocha, what? It was a joke to Mr. Poopinator. Laradox says, what the hell? That's the strongest language I've ever heard Laradox use. Mocha says, I'm responding to what the poopster posted. That's the way to do it. You got Mr. Poopinator's, the Master Sergeant, that's respect. Ryan says, when I first saw your channel, I was thinking you got similar stuff to mine from nature and breathwork. Yeah, we definitely had that connection. And then more and more, the more I got to know you, the more similar we both had our battles. Brian says, hello, Sergeant McCarty. Sergeant Mocha, sorry. Paradox says, Mocha, that's crazy you said that, because I like mine cooked. No, you don't have to apologize, Paradox. It was pretty mild. Mocha says, hello to Mr. Brian Lane. Brian says, also been sometimes looking at Odom's videos. He's another that's there for support. I appreciate Odom. Man, I got nothing but love for Odom. I've had some great conversations with Odom. Odom was with someone, again, in the early days of my live stream, which, by the way, has been July 1st was a year of me doing live streams. Just like the burpee videos, every single day. Have not missed a day. Some days was just a brief, like 20 minutes coming in. But when I decided to commit, one of the phrases I've been using from A Course in Miracles, I was talking about it with Mocha today. Maybe it was yesterday. You can't totally commit to something sometimes. Important to consider. But Odom would show up, and we'd have some great conversations. Oh, by the way, I mentioned this in the afternoon live stream. Guys, congratulate Milka for her brand new all-electric car. Runner Boy says, by the way, I was able to get to the front splits the other day, the other side, and the other side now as well. Awesome. Have you ever put a video of you doing that? Mr. Poopinator says it was a joke. Mr. Poopinator says, hell yeah, Yogi, a year is a milestone. It's come a long way. You know, I made some really good friends. Hey, I get to hang out with you guys. And you guys, surprisingly, but I'm full of gratitude, surprisingly, you guys show up. Very much appreciated. I know you don't have to. Makes it all the more meaningful, knowing that, you know what, no one has to be here, and yet you take time from your life and you show up just to hang out with me. Poopinator says, congrats, brother. Thank you. To me, Mr. Poopinator signifies what you can do on YouTube. You can make a friend. The point says electric car. Okay, man, it's a sharp looking car. Really nice. Paradox says, I didn't mean to write that in the chat. I didn't see it. So everything's cool. Runner Boy says, no vid yet. Definitely like to see it. Brian's going to get ready to listen to the Cardinals and Pirates game with Teddy the Turtle. Have you guys checked out Brian's turtle videos? Absolutely awesome. Being from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I was born in McKeesport. I'm tempted to root for the Pirates. Of course, growing up in Baltimore Orioles. But in honor of our friend Brian Lane, tonight, I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. Poopinator says, I'm definitely glad I trolled initially. Yeah, me too. Let's see. Electric cars seem cool, like you save the planet or whatever, but where would you charge them? No hate towards Mocha's Choice. We got charging stations all over here. Paradox says that I'm a troll in some way. Thank you, Mr. Poopinator. Man, awful kind of you. Very much appreciate that. Brian says, my grandpa's from Pittsburgh. I love Pennsylvania. Most of my family still lives there. I don't get to see them too often. Larodoc says, Yogi, I live so close to you. Yeah, we're only one state away. It's a big state. I don't know if I would consider you a troll, Larodox. I consider you a friend. So I just got a little memo here that says, I don't know if I know how to do it. Let's celebrate the 10th Super on live stream. That's awesome. Douglas is here. Douglas, my friend, how are you? Larodox says, nice poop. If someone stumbled into this conversation not knowing all of us, and they read Larodox's comment, nice poop, they might take that in an entirely different way. And they might take his second comment. That's nice. That's nice poop. Could be taken out of context. Brian says they named a street that his family was on by my grandpa's last name, McKinney. That's awesome. Family farm. Let's see. One boy says, so Yogi, are you able to take the donation money out right away, or do you have to wait until you hit 100 pounds? Yep, $100 here in the States, and they send it to you, I think, on the 21st of every month. So, and the first month, you don't get anything, weirdly, or they withhold it. I don't know how it works. So come July 21st, I will have my very first YouTube payday. As I mentioned before, what I'm working towards is that small income to support myself solely through talking about weird stuff on YouTube. Imagine that. I'm in a very fortunate position. I got a house that's paid for. I got a car that's paid for. So taxes, utilities, groceries, and a couple of books. A book a month. I can deal with a book a month. So we'll see. You know, this is, I'm going to call this one of my favorite authors, Mark Singer, who wrote The Untethered Life, had another book called The Surrender Experiment, where he actually practiced the same style of yoga that I practice, and he was a disciple of, Brian Lane will know this, Paramahansa Yogananda, and he decided to just surrender, put his life in the hands of the universe, and see what happens. And boy, he's a multimillionaire. I don't expect that, nor do I even want that. But I do want to live that life of surrender. I want to put that ultimate trust. I mentioned before that, of Course in Miracles, everyone's a teacher, but you teach what you most need to learn. So can I do that? I don't know. We'll see. That's the gamble. All right, let me get caught up here. And then I think once caught up, we might say goodnight. Brian says, oops. Theodox says, well, technically right now it's in Hawaii, but yes, I'm from and often stay in North Carolina. We get a thumbs up from Eric LaPointe and laughing emojis from Mr. Poopinator. Brian says that Grandpa's birthday is like July 15th. We'll put a picture up. Awesome. Theodox says, I didn't mean it like nice poop. That's nice poop. Douglas says, doing good, exploring polarity and its correspondence. Interesting. Hey, I hope we're gonna call a night soon. But Douglas, I'd love if you stop by and talk more about that sometime. Brian says, I do have one picture um, of him on my page down towards the bottom. I'll check it out, Brian. I enjoyed seeing the photo of your dad. Let's see. Thank you, Eric Lapointe. Um, very much appreciated, my friend. Mr. Poopinator says, what did he mean it like Laradox? Mocha says, there's plenty of charge thingies where I usually go. And you know what? There'll only be more. Once again, I want to thank our friend Eric Lapointe. Brian Lane says 2 million books. Never enough. There are never enough books. Big says, how many books do you have? Yeah, a lot. I don't know. I don't rightly know. They keep showing up. Oh, Big says, I'm sorry, I missed your first comment. So what is this stream about? Tonight we talked a lot about burpees. And we talked about pizza and fast food. Not that most of us eat fast food, but you know, some of the time for some people. I talk a lot about yoga. I talk a lot about meditation, breath work, fitness, exercise, health, a little bit of everything, as well as, you know, big. If you stop in and there's something you want to talk about, everyone's always free to put it in and type it in, and we'll talk about that. Eric Point says another great live. Thank you, Eric. Mr. Poopinator sums it up very nicely. All love here, exactly. Paradox says, it's about really whatever. This is true. Poopinator says, stay and find out, Big. Everyone's always welcome to stay. Paradox says, more than he can count. Yeah, it's up there. It is up there. Wolf says, hi, it's Reaper and Runner. Let's see. Liliana says, you look like Mr. Clean. It looked like an updated version of Mr. Clean. Liliana, how are you, my friend? Douglas says, well, do appreciate that, Douglas. Paradox says, that's nice, Eric. Yeah, it was. Paradox says, oh, he looks fine to me. Paradox says, Eric, go to bed. Yeah, it is time for me to go to bed. Big says, cool, I like fast food. What about games? We have some gamers here. Paradox is a gamer. I'm not, though. But, hey, you're always welcome to ask people. And if, you know, again, we do have gamers show up. Runner Boy says, see you guys. See you, Runner Boy. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Goldie says, thank you for a lovely live and chat. Hey, before we go, Mocha says, yes, Eric, go to bed. I am going to bed. Before we go, sending prayers out to Goldie's daughter. Goldie as well. It's always stress, you know. So Goldie's daughter, as she goes into the second to last day of the exams, lots of prayers, healing thoughts and energy and love to our friend Bumblebee T. As always, I'm sending prayer to Dottie, loss of her dog. I don't remember if she said today or it might have been yesterday. And Selina, who is a caregiver for her sister Dana. man, caregiving is a tough position to be in. I stepped up twice for that. So, all right, guys. With that, Brian says, good night, Eric. We got a wave goodbye from our friend the Burpee Reaper, the champ himself. Goldie says, thank you. You're welcome, Goldie. Wolf says, okay, Yogi, you have your orders from the Master Sergeant. Absolutely. Let's see. Lucas says, and Bumblebee. Exactly. Prayers and love to our friend Bumblebee. Goldie says, in 7 hours, she'll be in her exams, and I'll be waking up, so she will be in my morning thoughts, my morning prayers. Goldie says, by the way, hi, lovely Milka. Milka says, yes, I outrank you. Everyone outranks me. Said, go to bed. Brian says, peace out, everyone. Hey, Brian, enjoy the game. And Milka says, hi, lovely Goldie. So, thanks, guys. Very much appreciate you hanging out. Again, you don't have to. And that makes it all the more meaningful for me. I'll be back. I got my 5 a.m. morning reading here. And then we do the whole thing over again. But we never have the same conversation. Brian says, namaste. Namaste to you, my friend. Wolf says, blessings to everyone. Blessings to you and Barb, Wolf. And a wave goodbye from Eric. And on that note, we're saying goodnight. Thanks, guys. Take care.